Every single day, we trade our future greatness for a handful of likes from people who don't even like us. Think about it. We've all felt that desperate itch to post our wins or vent about our struggles. But if you're watching this, you know the feeling. You announced a plan and it died. You shared a win and someone's jealousy killed the joy. You complained to feel better, but only felt more drained. This is how the trap works. The more we expose our lives for the world to see, the more we trigger a natural, almost biological gravitational pull that seeks to drag us back down to the level of the crowd. It is a sociological phenomenon. The moment we reveal our hand, the world finds a way to fold it for us. We are living in a digital fishbowl. Every move we make is tracked, analyzed, and critiqued by spectators who have no skin in our game. But there is a silent, terrifying power hidden in the shadows. There is a specific kind of magic that happens when we become unavailable, when we commit to the next version of ourselves in absolute secrecy. Imagine the look on their faces when you reappear 6 months from now as a completely different person. You are going to disappear. You are going to work in the dark and undergo a transformation so radical that when we finally step back into the light, it will shock the world. We have broken this path down into 3 tactical phases: the art of disappearance, how to sever the ties, the work in the shadows, the mechanics of the transformation, the reappearance, and the cost of returning. If you are ready to stop being puppets for the masses and start becoming the architects of our own souls, let's get into it. Now, how do we disappear the right way? Most people fail because they treat silence like a suggestion. They think going quiet means just posting less on social media. For us, silence is a law. It is a strategic mandate. To transform in the shadows, you must build a fortress around your life, and we do this through the 5 pillars of silence. Pillar 1: total verbal lockdown. Your mouth is a traitor. It betrays your future self every time you open it. From this second, you stop talking about your life. This includes your friends, your co-workers, and even your family. The only exception is a life partner who is 100% committed to your success. Everyone else is a leak. Let's look at the science of why your mouth is a traitor. When you announce a goal, I'm going to lose 20 pounds or I'm starting a business, your brain receives a premature hit of dopamine. Psychologists call this social reality. Your brain confuses the act of talking with the act of achieving. The satisfaction you feel from the praise of others actually lowers your motivation to do the hard work. You've already felt the win in your mind, so your body sees no reason to suffer for the result. We are starving the brain of fake rewards, so it has no choice but to hunt for real ones. Keep the steam inside the engine. Pillar 2: kill the spectator. We have been trained from birth to live for the applause of people we don't even respect. Pillar 2 is about internalizing your validation. You need to stop being a puppet to other people's expectations. Understand this: they don't actually care about you. They care about how you make them feel. If you are doing well, it makes them feel insecure. If you are doing poorly, it makes them feel superior. When you disappear, you stop performing for the crowd. You become the only judge that matters. If you cannot be proud of your work in a room where no one is watching, you've already lost. You must learn to be your own audience. Pillar 3: the 5% rule. Every time you share a plan or a dream, you lose 5% of the energy needed to achieve it. It's a psychological tax that most people pay willingly every day. Treat your plans like bank passwords or the blueprints to a vault. You wouldn't hand those out to strangers on the street, would you? Then stop handing out your future. Every time you spill your day or your vision, you are releasing the internal pressure that drives growth. Silence creates a vacuum, and nature hates a vacuum. That void will pull you toward action, but if you fill that void with talk, you stay exactly where you are. Keep your targets in the dark. Pillar 4: hide the progress. This is where most people trip up. They stay quiet about the plan, but as soon as they see a little bit of success, a few extra dollars, a better physique, they run to the world to show it off. Don't you dare. Think about a diamond. A diamond isn't made in a laboratory under a bright spotlight. It's made deep underground, in the crushing dark, under immense pressure. If you crack the earth and let the pressure out too soon, you don't get a diamond. You get ordinary coal. When you show off your progress, you are cracking the vessel. You are letting the pressure escape. Let them wonder why you look different. Let them whisper about how you changed, but never show them the map you used to get there. Pillar 5. Own the pain in private. There will be days when it hurts. Days when you're exhausted, lonely, or facing a setback. In those moments, your biological instinct will be to reach out for sympathy. Sympathy is a sedative. It makes you comfortable with being weak. It tells you that it's okay to stay where you are, because things are hard. We reject that. You must learn to sweat, bleed, and even cry in total isolation. This is the monk mode discipline. When you suffer in silence, that pain doesn't dissipate. It hardens. It builds a version of you that is unbreakable because it was forged where no one could reach you, no one could pity you, and no one could help you. You are building a shell that the world's opinions can never pierce. Once the world has forgotten you, the real work begins. Silence is just the vacuum. Now we have to fill it with substance. Most people use monk mode as an excuse to hide or procrastinate in private. We use it as a high-pressure laboratory to rebuild our entire existence. This phase is about 3 clinical stages: surgical targeting, radical optimization, and the shadow ritual. Phase 1, surgical targeting, or the rule of 3. In the shadows, trying your best is a death sentence. You cannot hit a target that you haven't defined with mathematical precision. We pick 3, and only 3, pillars to rebuild. We call them the body, the bank, and the brain. If you try to change everything at once, you will shatter. But if you focus on these 3, you become unstoppable. The body, don't just say you want to get fit. Decide on an exact body fat percentage, or a specific weight you will attain. The bank, don't say you want to make more money. Name the specific monthly revenue goal and, more importantly, the one skill you will master to earn it. The brain, choose one field of knowledge: coding, psychology, high-ticket sales, and commit to becoming the top 1% in that field. In the dark, your vision must be laser-focused. If a task doesn't directly feed one of these 3 pillars, it is a parasite. Kill it. Phase 2. Radical life optimization. Now we restructure your entire reality to serve the result. We are not fitting in work around our lives. We are building a life around our work. If you are disappearing to transform your bank, your environment must become a fortress of focus. This might mean deleting every app on your phone that doesn't generate revenue. It might mean moving to a cheaper, quieter apartment closer to your workspace to eliminate a commute. If it's your body, your life must revolve around the iron and the fuel. You stop eating for pleasure and start eating for purpose. Social dining is a distraction you can no longer afford. You eat the same fuel in the same amounts, in total silence. Every hour is accounted for. Every sleep is recovery. Every meal is a chemical input for a physical output. We are turning your daily existence into a high-performance machine. Phase 3. Reprogramming the reward system. This is where the true transformation happens. At first, the shadows will feel lonely. You will crave the old dopamine hits, the scrolling, the partying, the cheap validation. You must resist until your brain chemistry actually shifts. We are recoding our minds to find pleasure in the grind itself. We are learning to love the burn in our muscles and the late-night strain on our eyes. In this phase, happiness isn't a vacation or a night out. Happiness is the feeling of crushing your targets in total anonymity. When you start to prefer the sweat of the shadows over the comfort of the light, you'll know the reprogramming is complete. In the shadows, we don't guess, we measure. The shadow ritual is our daily confrontation with reality. It is the bridge between the person you were and the ghost you are becoming. Every single day, we perform a clinical self-audit. No outside feedback. No good job from a boss or a friend. We become both the master who demands excellence and the slave who executes without question. We embrace the isolation because we know that while the world thinks we've vanished, we are actually becoming undeniable. Let's look at a concrete example. The $1,000 a month digital business to the world. That figure looks like a mountain. To us, in the shadows, it's just a pile of pebbles. You break that mountain down. First 4 hours. Deep work. No phone, no notifications, no quick breaks. Just the raw execution of your core product. Hours 5, -6. Outreach. Sending 50 targeted, high-value messages, or making the calls that others are too afraid to make. Hour 7. Skill acquisition. Reading the technical manuals or practicing the craft that makes you 1% better than you were yesterday. Every night, before you sleep, you face the mirror. This is where the ritual peaks. You ask yourself, did I move the needle today, or did I just play pretend? We track the data. If the goal was 50 messages and you sent 49, you failed. There is no participation trophy in the shadows. We update the plan for the next 24 hours, adjust the trajectory, and prepare to do it all over again in total silence. The hardest part for most, the silence of the crowd. When you work in public, you get pity praise. People say, "I'm so proud of you for trying." That praise is a poison. It makes you feel like you've arrived before you've even started. In the shadow ritual, the only feedback is the result. Does the bank account show more? Is the body fat lower? Is the code cleaner? If the answer is no, we don't look for excuses. We don't call a friend to vent. We look at the data, we tighten the screws, and we go back into the dark. We love this pain because we know that while everyone else is chasing the feeling of success through talk, we are chasing the reality of success through silence. By the time they see us again, the gap between us and them won't just be wide, it will be infinite. By now the silence around you is deafening. The world has stopped asking where you are. Your notifications have dried up. Your name hasn't been mentioned in a group chat for weeks. For most people, this is the point where they break. They feel the social itch, the desperate physical need to be seen, to be validated, to feel like they still exist in the eyes of others. But for us, this is the moment we achieve escape velocity. We are not just hiding, we are performing a total surgical override of our neural circuitry. In the beginning, your brain was addicted to social dopamine, the cheap hollow hits you get from telling people your plans or seeing a red notification icon on your screen. That dopamine is a lie. It's a ghost of achievement that leaves you weaker. In the shadows, we intentionally starve that addiction. We force your brain to go through a period of withdrawal. This is painful. You will feel bored, restless, and invisible. But stay in the dark. As the old receptors die off, new ones are born. We are replacing social junk food with achievement, dopamine. When you spend 3, 4, or 6 months in total anonymity, your chemistry shifts. You stop craving the feeling of being important and start craving the fact of being competent. You reach a point where a compliment from a stranger feels like noise, but hitting a new personal record in the gym or solving a complex problem in your business feels like a religious experience. You are learning to eat the pain of the grind for breakfast, and you will find it tastes far better than the fake sugar of social approval. There is a period in this journey that no one talks about. We call it the void. It's the dead zone that occurs after the initial excitement of the disappearance has faded, but before the massive results are visible. In the void, the mirrors don't show much change yet. The bank account hasn't exploded. The silence feels less like a fortress and more like a prison. You will see your old friends out on a Friday night through the lens of your imagination, and the voice of your old self will whisper, "Is it worth it?" No one even knows how hard you're working. Just one post. Just one night out. Just tell someone. This is the ultimate test. The void is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that your old identity is finally being incinerated. You are in the waiting room of greatness. If you can endure the silence of the void without reaching for your phone or seeking a distraction, you will emerge with a superpower. The ability to focus when the world is screaming for your attention. You will become functionally different from 99% of the population. In this phase, we stop viewing discomfort as a reason to quit. We view it as fuel. We call this the alchemist's mindset. Alchemy is the art of taking something base, like lead, and turning it into gold. Your old life, filled with likes, small talk, and mediocrity, is the lead. The heat of isolation is the furnace. When you're exhausted in the dark, when the gym is cold, or when you're staring at a screen at 3 a.m. with blurry eyes, you don't look for the exit. You lean into the heat. You realize that the shadows are the only place where the light of your true potential isn't drowned out by the static of the world. You've stopped being a spectator in your own life. You've become the creator, and once you experience the raw, primal power of creating your own reality in total silence, the idea of going back to your old, loud, empty life won't just feel unappealing, it will be your greatest fear. You are no longer part of the hive mind. You have become a sovereign individual. If you have followed the path, if you have mastered the silence, endured the grind of the void, and reprogrammed your very soul, you will eventually reach the final stage. You will be ready to reappear. Your body is different. Your bank account is different. Your mind is unrecognizable. You have the gold that you spent months forging in the dark. But here is where the great paradox happens. In the beginning, you wanted to disappear so that you could eventually show them. You wanted to see the shock on their faces. You wanted the "I told you so" moment. But after living in the shadows, something very interesting has changed. You have died to the version of yourself that needed their applause. The person who started this journey was starving for attention. The person who finishes it is satisfied by substance. You've spent so much time being your own master and your own judge that the opinions of others now feel incredibly small. You'll realize that reappearing in the way you once imagined, loudly, boastfully, looking for a reaction, is actually a step backward. It's a return to the noise. If you do this right, you won't care to reappear at all. You have become one with the shadow, and that is where your power lives. True confidence is silent. It's only insecurity that needs to make a noise. When you finally step back into the light, you will notice a strange phenomenon. People will ask, "Where have you been?" Or, "How did you change so much?" Before this journey, you would have given them a long explanation, seeking their approval. Now, you'll just smile and say, "I've just been focused." You have become a mystery. And in a world where everyone is an open book, where everyone is desperate to be understood, a person who is a mystery is the most magnetic force in the room. You hold the power because you are the only one who knows the true cost of your new life. You continue to crush it, but now you do it because it is who you are, not because of what it looks like. This is the ultimate transformation. You didn't just change your habits, you changed your identity. You no longer need the light of the world to feel warm. You have a sun burning inside of you now. You've found a new life, a life of silence, discipline, and undeniable results. And as you look back at the person you were before you disappeared, you'll realize that the greatest victory wasn't the success itself. It was the fact that you no longer need anyone else to witness it. This path isn't easy. It's a journey that few have the courage to start, and even fewer have the discipline to finish. But you don't have to walk it alone in the dark. If you are ready to commit to the monk mode, if you are ready to kill your old self to let the new one breathe, let us know in the comments. Write, "I am ready to disappear" to lock in your commitment today. And if you want to stay on this path of self-mastery, finding your best version, and pushing toward the person you were born to be, subscribe to this channel. We are here to provide the support, the psychology, and the blueprints for your transformation. We dive deep into the mechanics of self-discovery and give you the tools to remain undeniable. Stay in the shadows, keep winning, and we will see you on the other side of the transformation.